So if you ever played Plants vs Zombies 2, you may know what families are, and if not, well, plants are divided into families, which indicates which plant is influenced by which power mint. Like for example, pea shooter with the Appease family and Appease mint, or sunflower with the Enligthen family and Enligthen mint. Well, with this in mind, I'm going to quick explain and rank all 14 families in Plants vs Zombies 2. Let's start now. The Appease mint family is where you will find a bunch of pea shooter plants that are all about fast and straight attacks. But it's not just peas here. Some other ones like Starfruit and Red Stinger also made it in. It has one of the greatest well-known combos on the game, which is interesting. The mint ability is pretty lame for big waves though, throwing peas that break into smaller peas when they hit zombies. It's a kinda mid family. Yeah, it has some solid plans, some overpowered and others that get outclassed by a lot of other attackers in the game. B tier, a kinda mid family with some exceptions, but there are better families, that's for sure. The Enligthen mint family is a priority on PvZ2 since it's the one that has all the sun producing plants. The best plants in this family are probably Primal Sunflower and the Goldbloom. At least these are the ones I use the most. I know Solar Sage is not that bad and Toadstool is a better chomper in my opinion, but yeah, just let me say one thing. PopCap, why did you dare to change Golden Leaf price to 80? Just why? Anyway, the mint ability in this family is kinda meh, but when it boosts your sun producing plants, oh yeah, you're definitely not running out of sun anytime soon. S tier, you gotta have at least 1 or 2 plants from this family in your lineup if you wanna win in PvZ2. The peppermint family is home of Heatfire plants and ghost pepper, probably because it's based on one of the spiciest chili peppers in the world, right? This family main ability is to warm nervy plants when they are getting cold, and it's essential to have some in frostbite caves. And generally speaking, it has some balanced plants, I will say, like Fairy Pea Shooter or Pyrevine, and some more interesting ones such as Metro Flower and Blaze Leaf. Oh wow, what is that fire texture? I like to use some plants on this family, but let's say just it's not the best one. The Power Mint though is pretty useful to do great damage to the zombies on the board. B tier for this one. The Reinforcement family is mostly made up of wall and support plants, and you know what? There is not a whole lot to say here. They do their job, they stall zombies, take hits, and some of them deal a little damage, with the exception of this one. Yeah, this is one of the new plants PopCap added. And let's be honest, most of the recent plants aren't exactly what you will call balanced. Now the Power Mint, actually pretty solid. It pushes zombies back by like a tile and a half and gives plant food to every reinforcement plant on the field. That's honestly pretty great. I would say this one is also a B tier. The Spearmint family is made up of plants with spikes or piercing attacks, basically stuff that can hit multiple zombies in a row. This family is actually pretty wild because it includes 2 of the most notoriously broken plants in PvZ2. Yeah, those 2. And the mint? Oh, it's definitely not one to ignore. Arguably the best one in the whole game. It spawns an entire column of spike rocks. Spearmint is a solid family overall. Some plants are more balanced than others, sure, but there is a lot of good picks here for your setup. This is a solid S tier thanks to the high damage and ability this family has. Island family contains the poisoning plants and mushrooms. Yeah, this family has a great variety of plants and a good portion of those are pretty useless. But as well it has another one of the greatest plants in the game, Nightcap, and it's insanely broken. Basically a ghost that can't take any damage, plus it hurts the zombies giving them a poison effect. Insane. The element itself is great, it poisons all the zombies on board, defeating them in short time. And I mean, it's a great family to counter zombies with armor since the key about poisoning zombies is dealing damage to the body instead of the armor itself. In some cases, there are plants that can stack the effect dealing more damage than usual, for example, Goopy Shooter. A tier. The Filament family is composed of electric plants and magnifying grass and all tomato. Yeah, I don't know about these ones. Electric damage hits nervy zombies dealing light damage to them, which is usually great for controlling big waves. Another thing is how this family contains Electric Pea Shooter, which is God's work that can do insane damage to a lot of zombies on the board. The mint in this family though is pretty meh. Dealing 150 damage to zombies is okay, but nothing too crazy. Regardless, this family can do a great job for dealing high damage to big waves of zombies, so A tier. The Enforcement family is made up by basically melee plants or plants that attacks when the zombies are close. This family is pretty extended, it has 17 plants to choose or 18 if we count the mint. And speaking about that, he shrinks and immobilizes 10 random zombies on the lawn, which is okay. The only real problem I have with this family is the plants, because I think most of them need some type of protection from, for example, a Reinforcement family, and by themselves they can't do much. Not all though, because some of them are broken. What a surprise, right? A tier. Conceal Mint is the home of the shadow plants, probably the best family in terms of synergy. It doesn't have a lot of plants, but they are good together, with the exception of Nocturne, maybe? The Conceal Mint itself is great, several zombies are dragged down to knock them out, so basically insta-killed. The plants in this family are also great, especially Dragon Breed or Shadow Pea Shooter, which is also a really controversial plant because of how great he is. However, I'm not a big fan of the shadow plants and I didn't use them a lot due to their dependence on Moonflower. B tier. Bombard Mint family is entirely composed of explosive plants. A lot of these are insta-kills or manual plants, some better than others, with great plants such as Boom Balloon Flower, which can solo levels by herself. She's pretty good in my opinion. The Bombardment is also great, spawning 3 explosions randomly on the board and destroying zombies. It's always good to have 1 or 2 if you want to get out of hard situations. A tier. Arma Mint has both the plants with lobed projectiles and the cannon/launching plants. And honestly, they are okay. I'm not a bigger fan of these plants overall. Some exceptions like Banana Launcher is here, which is a great plant of course. But then there is this, which is well, just look at the projectile and tell me it's a good plant. The Arma Mint is also meh. It does high damage, throwing a barrage of projectiles, but I don't think it's that great. There are great attackers in this family, but definitely not the best. B tier. Contain family is interesting. It has a lot of random plants, some debuffing plants, some stalling plants, and Tom Tangler. Anyway, the main goal of these plants is to stall the zombies and push them back before they get to your brains. Basically, they are always useful. It's a good idea to grab a few to make things harder for the zombies. However, the mint in this family though is trash. It only stalls the zombie for 4 seconds, which is miserable to be honest. A tier. The Wintermill family is pretty self-explanatory. It's all about ice-based plants that chill zombies and slow them down. The main goal is, like I said, just slow them and reduce their attack speed. Simple. Now, the Wintermint itself kinda mid. All it does is chill the zombies on the lawn. Not damage at all, which feels pretty underwhelming. You probably know that I add the ice room to their game. And yeah, surprise, it's broken. For some reason, it's a melee plant with high damage and it slows down zombies. Like, come on, it can take out a night zombie all by himself. Slowing zombies down is probably one of the most important things to do in a tower defense like PvZ, so this will be an A tier. Enchantment family is composed by plants that use magic in some sort of way. They are great plants here like Holy Power or even Snake Lily and some other that, well, I don't even understand how they work. However, Enchantment is also pretty bad overall. He randomly hypnotizes 2 zombies, which is okay. It's great to sometimes bring one of these, even though it's not necessary. And this is the final tier list. Again, this video is not meant to be a masterclass to the families or anything like that. It's just a quick recap of what they do and some other things I like to talk about. It's obviously my opinion and you can have a different one, of course. I respect it. Write it down below in the comment section if you wanna share it, and if you like the content, don't forget to check out my other stuff. Like, subscribe, and see ya for the next video.